Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, I know you've all been waiting to hear about this, so I expect you to put down what you're doing and draw your full attention to me right now. I had a chat with my manager, my GM, the sentry gun at the end of the bar. And, you know what, all jokes aside, I think it went pretty well. As well as it could have gone. You need to understand that I'm only looking to calm the seas down, stop the torrential rain for the time being and buy myself enough time to kind of move on to a different thing, but I still need to hit those milestones to do that, which I need money to do. So I'm not looking for a complete solution. I'm kind of just looking to calm stuff down, which I think I've done. I basically put my hands up and I said, look, I don't like being in the doghouse with anyone, in general, especially not my boss. I understand you've been unhappy with my pace of work. And I'll tell you what, it was a little bit intimidating because we went up the stairs and nothing was said. And then we sat down and she didn't say anything, and I had to start the conversation off, which I've heard is like a tactic, and it works. It is proper intimidating, but that's how I started it. And I just said, look, yeah, I feel burnt out, and I had a look, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate all the hours and stuff. I know they're stretched thin at the moment, but I had a look, and I'm literally on 85% shifts. 85% of my shifts are closes, right? No one else has that, and as a result, I suppose I just feel a bit demoralised, demotivated and stuff. But don't get me wrong, I do enjoy working here and yada yada yada. Yeah. Yeah, she basically said, well, yeah, you've basically gone backwards. I was like, yeah, okay. And it's got to the point where people working with you, managers will be like, oh, if this tonight's going to take a bit longer because she was insinuating because Ben's closing. So she basically trying to say it wasn't just her. I was like, okay, fair. Then we went through how I could improve it and whether I would direct feedback. I basically accepted all that and encouraged her to kind of pull me aside whenever she needed to. And yeah, I said, could I have a bit more variation in my shifts? And we basically ended it off. Oh, I forgot. I basically said, I feel like on a close you do all the heavy lifting. And she said, she heard me out, but then she said, I didn't like the comment you made about at the closes you do all the heavy lifting. And I said, well, I didn't bother to argue with the point. I just said, you know what, fair enough. That's your opinion, but my opinion didn't change. I still think closes are the heavy lifters. I was on a day shift today. It was a breeze, and I did 8 hours. Didn't even really think about it. Apart from the last 2, they were a bit long, but still, barely broke a sweat. Closes are definitely the hardest, but we'll agree to disagree on that, whatever. But we ended it with, look, I'll try increase the pace. I enjoy working here. Don't want to be in anyone's bad books. And then in return, she said, I'll try and look at the rotor and see if I can put you on any split shifts, which is essentially a day shift, then an hour break, and then a close shift. I said, great, thank you. Smiled at her, and then we shook hands, and that was it. Which is as well as it could have gone, in my opinion. Fairs. But yeah, I feel less on edge, and I'm quite happy that I had the initiative to ask for a chat off her. Yeah. Another day, another dollar.